News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. President Trump says it is highly unlikely that he would extend the 2-week ceasefire with Iran if a deal is not reached before it ends. Trump spoke to Bloomberg reporter Jeff Mason by phone earlier today.
One of the takeaways was certainly that he said it was unlikely that he would extend the ceasefire. That seems to be his way of maintaining leverage and holding leverage over Iran. He also said he was not in a hurry to get a deal because he didn't want to rush into a bad deal.
Trump said that if they cannot come to a deal before the ceasefire expires, fighting will likely resume and that the Strait of Hormuz will remain blocked until an agreement is finalized. He added that Vice President JD Vance would leave today to resume negotiations in Pakistan. He also said the ceasefire expires Wednesday evening, Washington time, not tomorrow. And now the New York Times is reporting an Iranian delegation is planning to travel to Islamabad for those negotiations with the U.S. Oil prices are higher. Bloomberg Intelligence senior commodity strategist Mike McGlone.
If prices don't go down, that surplus of supply versus demand in the U.S. and Canada, which is running around 8 million barrels a day, it's going to go to 10 million barrels a day by 2028. This is a market, it's a bear market that's bounced much more likely to go down. And the key thing that might make it go down to that level by the end of the year is the stock market dropping a bit.
Bloomberg's Mike McGlone. WTI now 6% higher, around $89 a barrel. Brent crude 5.5% higher, near $96 per barrel. Kuwait declared force majeure on shipments of crude oil and refined products because of the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. State-run Kuwait Petroleum invoked the contractual clause, allowing a supplier to miss deliveries, notifying customers on Friday. Kuwait has suffered multiple hits to oil infrastructure, and output is now at levels last seen in the early 1990s after the Iraqi invasion. All of this drove stocks lower, and we do check markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 is down 0.4%, NASDAQ down 0.6%, and the Dow down 0.1%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.26%, and the 2-year yield at 3.72%. Bitcoin is higher, up about 1.25%, near $76,000. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer admits he was wrong to appoint Peter Mandelson as UK ambassador to Washington, telling lawmakers he didn't have all the relevant information when he made that appointment.
At the heart of this, there is also a judgment I made that was wrong. I should not have appointed Peter Mandelson. I take responsibility for that decision, and I apologise again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who were clearly failed by my decision.
Mendelsohn was given the job despite failing security checks and was fired 9 months later over his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Starmer says he's furious he wasn't informed of that failed vetting. FBI Director Kash Patel has filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against The Atlantic and staff writer Sarah Fitzpatrick over a story alleging excessive drinking and unexplained absences. The article alleged that Patel drank to the point of obvious intoxication and had meetings rescheduled because of alcohol-fueled nights. The Atlantic says it will vigorously defend against the lawsuit and that it stands by its reporting on Kash Patel. Looks like the owner of Jack Daniels may prefer a sale to Pernod Ricard over Sazerac. The combined company with Brown-Forman and Pernod would be diversified across geographies and types of spirits, and proposed terms would give the family a bigger stake in the business and more influence. A tie-up between Brown-Forman and Pernod would create a leader in American whiskey, strengthen Pernod's position in tequila, and expand both companies' global reach. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.